Hey guys, welcome to the Better Humanology Podcast. I'm your host today, Talon Schwam. I want to start off the show with a couple announcements. First, who doesn't want a badass barbell? Right now we're doing a barbell giveaway. Everybody's eligible. All you have to do is go over to iTunes, leave a positive comment and a 5-star review, and that's how we can get your name, and so you will be immediately entered into our barbell giveaway. Also, don't forget you can go to betterhumanology.com and receive the first 3 days free of the Better Human Challenge. It's an awesome course that really helps build mental toughness. So today it's going to be a little different kind of a show, topic-wise. I haven't talked about it in the first couple of seasons much, but I'm actually a pretty big futurist. I like to combine that kind of philosophy with trying to become better. So looking ahead and trying to see how I can continue to improve and get better in a world that really redefines what better is all the time. So let's jump right in. Self-improvement isn't always straightforward. I think a lot of us realize that. Sometimes we have to improve in ways we don't expect. Sometimes we're forced to improve for motivations that aren't even our own. As we grow in this world, we must improve ourselves in terms of our value, whether we want to or not. Our college applications and job resumes and everything, they're jam-packed with information describing how valuable we are. And we work to increase our value not only for those reasons, but also to gain respect and proper treatment from others in society. In a meritocracy, value is king. Of course, to increase our value, we must first value ourselves. It always starts there. This topic won't reach all of you right now, but in a not too distant future, it will become increasingly more difficult to improve how valuable we are in an automated world. There are many foreboding tales about the horrific degradation of humanity at the hands of machines. Hollywood has made a fortune off post-apocalyptic renditions of mankind's loss of control over artificial intelligence. I grew up watching many of those movies. We must have some kind of obsession with our own annihilation, huh? I suppose there's something about a soulless machine born of our own creation being the thing to end us that is kind of poetic. For every story about a giant meteor coming to smash into the earth, there are about 50 more foretelling of the eventual robot rebellion. The Matrix films serve as a good example of this. They depict not only a possible future, but a possible present as well, with the latter being a little bit more scary. But there have also been hypothetical stories about the loss of things other than just control. In 1909, E.M. Forster wrote a short story called The Machine Stops. If you haven't read it yet, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I talked about it on the show a couple weeks back, one of our regular episodes, as a challenge for you guys, and it's fantastic. It helps bring a lot of perspective. This guy, E.M. Forster, he was a prophet. In it, you'll find dozens of eerie similarities to our current 21st century lifestyle. He really had us pegged. It's a story that focuses more on how humans lose their humanity to machines rather than their ability to manipulate them. In a sense, he's right. We have become zombies to our TVs and our desktops and our smartphones. But you know what? Screw that. Humans may seem to be devolving now, but that will not be our future. As each new technology has come out, we have been forced to become more and more creative and innovative. When we learned that we could make fire, we got creative with cooking. When we learned about the wheel, we got clever with our travel and trade became more viable. When we learned to build structures, we got creative with decorating them by creating works of art. In developing governance, we became deeply philosophical. When we started building ships, the innovation of exploration swept up the entire human race, much like the prospects of space travel fascinates many of us today. When we started mining the Earth's minerals, we figured out how to use them to power and improve our lives. We harnessed the power of electricity. After we designed the computer, we developed the internet and connected the entire world together. Also, at each step along the way, humans have cut down on the time required to accomplish tasks. In the days of the early human, it might take several days to hunt down an animal large enough to feed one's own family. Now, it could take less than 5 minutes popping down to a local McDonald's. Not that I recommend eating that junk, but you get the point. Now, with the growth of the internet and the information age, we find ourselves with more time on our hands than ever. Many of us, millions of us are wasting it away, falling victim to the enormity of the entertainment at our fingertips. And if you're a pessimist, it can certainly seem dire. Don't worry though, that's why I'm here. Human stock isn't tanking, it's just in a lull. And we have to wake up enough to step back and take a look at our lives for it to change. And until we do that as a collective, we'll stay in that lull. And here's why. It's because automation is taking over everything. And I'm talking about machines as much as I am about how much of us live day to day. We automate. It's not a bad fairy tale Will Smith can save us from. It's true, and it's inevitable. This change has been happening slowly for the past several decades as factories continue to lay off employees and innovate by filling their assembly lines with robots. Drones have taken place of pilots, and Uber is already utilizing self-driving cars. So many people have no idea how to navigate their own city without the help of GPS. And I don't even try to remember or type in phone numbers anymore. Siri does that all for me. Any job that is related to labor is going to be obsolete, but it won't just stop there. And it's not hard to see. Machines are cheaper than paying a salary. Generally, a machine can be developed to operate faster and more effectively than a human. Machines don't need breaks, they don't get sick, they don't require a pension after they've worn out their usefulness, and they don't complain or create problems like sexual harassment or gossip. So what are we supposed to do when we can't work? Well, I think it's simple. We have to evolve. We have to evolve creatively. There's a reason our actors, comedians, and great storytellers are so rich and powerful these days. It's because we made them that way. When the Industrial Revolution exploded the growth of our society, we created more time on our hands. More time meant more opportunity for entertainment, and the film industry was born. Over decades, we began to idolize and uplift individuals who filled our free time with imagination, laughter, and awe. We have continued to find creativity increasingly desirable and important since then. The same could be said about the Age of Enlightenment and famous painters, sculptors, and playwrights. And don't get me wrong, this doesn't have to be touchy-feely artistry stuff only. I think our man Jared would definitely describe what he does with the barbell artistry if he were asked. As we shyly tiptoe into this future, artistry is going to become immensely more desirable and important. That's why I referred to this next step of ours as an evolution. Because this isn't going to be a small change. Machines can and will do just about everything a human can do, except better. The only thing we have on them is a soul, and we have to start putting it to use. Because our souls are batteries for our creativity. We have the ability to imagine in a way that machines will never be able to. Machines think in codes and patterns like straight, stiff, uncooked spaghetti, while we think in a more free-flowing mash of noodles all wrapped together and intermingled. It behooves us to tap into our creativity now to develop our uniqueness and value in a changing society. So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. First step, identify what makes you different. If you turn back a few episodes, I talked about this in an episode called How to Harness Your Inner Weirdo. That could really help you with this step. Next is you want to create opportunities for your own uniqueness to manifest itself. This is where the magic happens. Doing this will become your creativity. If you're already an artist in some way, you probably understand this and it's happening for you easily by now. So try to continuously think of new ways to funnel your uniqueness into action. If you're meant to sing, you don't have to start a band. Download an app and you're there. If you're a construction worker and your gift is in your hands, see what you can do when you build something for yourself. If you just love folding origami or something like that, show someone else how. Or start a YouTube channel and show many more. Because the next step is produce something. This may happen on its own depending on how you do step 2. The examples of building something tangible through woodworking or adding videos to a YouTube channel really accomplish this already. But this is why it's important, is because it's not just about expressing yourself, it's also a way of sharing yourself with the rest of the world. It shows them what makes you special, and it increases your value. It shows them that you are valuable. It also increases your self-esteem, but we'll save that for another day. So, in closing, we control how valuable we are in society. Right now, being more creative, it can help us become a better human, using our gifts. But in the future, it might be imperative to our survival. As much as the outside world challenges us to test its limits, we must challenge ourselves to look inwards to test our own. So increase your creativity now to ensure your value today and into the future. Thanks.